So, the Deputy Tourism Minister, Fish Mahlalela, has touted the possibility of a special police unit to protect tourists visiting the country. As the Africa Travel Indaba continues in Durban this week, provincial tourism departments are each asking themselves how they can go about boosting revenue for their areas. One of the people there is Thembiso Dlamini, CEO of the Gauteng Tourism Authority. A very good evening to you, sir. Welcome to the Pulse. So, what is Gauteng's tourism edge, I wonder, over the 8 other provinces in South Africa?
Good evening and good evening to your viewers. Certainly you can see I'm not Thembiso Dlamini. I'm Barba Gaoganediwe, the Chief Marketing Officer at Gauteng Tourism Authority. Quite excited to be joining you this evening.
Apologies for that, sir. We were supposed to speak to Mr. Thembiso Dlamini, the CEO. Nonetheless, glad to have you on, Baba. My question again is, what gives Gauteng the edge over the 8 other provinces when it comes to tourism?
Apart from being the golden province of South Africa, the new gold in Gauteng is the 15 million people we have. Those are the driving force behind our energy, our showcase. No other province have such huge numbers of people. The quality infrastructure that we have in the province, overlaid by the energy, the warm hearts of the 15 million people of the province, represent our biggest selling proposition and our arsenal at this Africa Travel Indaba. But that is also supported by, of the top 15 townships in South Africa, 9 of them are located in the golden province of Gauteng. So the people that makes Africa's biggest trading assets are right there in our destination. They are the one that shares our stories. They are our content creators. They are the one that represent the toils and the energy, somehow subdued by the past 3 years of COVID-19. But the energy and the buzz and the determination that is here at Africa Travel Indaba, shown by the rest of the African continent, is encouraging, and we are definitely sure that will augur well. We are aiming for gold, we are aiming for pole position, and we are going to be doing this as part of integrating Africa. We're building bridges with the likes of Air Eswatini. We've been engaging with the Zambian ministry. So our eyes are not just on Gauteng townships, hubs, informal settlement. We're also integrating this with the rest of the continent, because we can only swim and get bigger mile if we work together.
Right. How do you do that, though, in the midst of an electricity crisis? Crime levels are at a shocking level across the major areas in Gauteng. The streets are filthy. The 3 metros can't get their business in order to deal with the basic issues. Potholes in many of the areas where we as people who live in Gauteng have to drive daily. How do you then take that, put a bow on it, and sell it to a foreign traveler?
It's not just foreign travelers. It starts with us, residents of Gauteng, appreciating the value of tourism and what it does in our local communities. All these challenges that you have just articulated propels us to even work more harder. We need to get more tourism revenue into our shores so that we are able to use this revenue that propels our GDP to greater heights, to support efforts to patch up potholes, to support effort to fund the energy recovery plan, to support up efforts to get our cities back on track. So the monies that tourists spend, each international arrivals that stays for more than 4 days in a destination contributes between 9 to 12 jobs. Tourism is about creating economic opportunities. So it is not a standalone from some of the challenges that we face. So if we get our cities clean, if we get electricity back into the grid, if we get the lights, if we get our people to be welcoming, we'll then be able to reap the benefits of travel, both for domestic and from international arrivals, into the pockets of our communities, and we build livable spaces, we build livable cities. So we are here to propagate this message that the electricity challenges, the crime that we are facing, is not different from the normal chores and daily occurrences. In Gauteng alone, we have still 6,000 training wardens. 3,000 of them have now been deployed into our streets, led by Premier Lesotho. This is a dedicated effort to make Gauteng safe. They are supplementing the metropolis and other law enforcement agencies. We have tourism monitors in our tourism precincts. The Tourism Green Incentive Program is part of the efforts to get tourism establishment, especially SMMEs, those that are owned by women and young people, to be supported by government to retrofit our facilities so that we are able to harvest the sun, harvest the waters, and make sure that we practice responsible tourism. So all these processes are interlinked.
So that's good and well. It's good and well in theory. How do we take it and make it a lived reality for all tourism businesses? You mentioned SMEs. When you look at gatherings like the Indaba that's underway now, it's important then once the likes of yourselves as the management within the tourism space, the government departments, you've all met, global counterparts perhaps also attending, but how then do we make it a reality, for example, for a business in Soweto, someone in Diepsloot tomorrow and more sustainably in the next year, 5 years even?
We're here with a strong cohort of 30 SMMEs. 80% of this 30 SMMEs we have from Gauteng are coming from our townships. 20% are repeat visitors. We have covered their costs to be here. We have helped them in packaging their sales toolkit so that they be able here to trade. And part of trading is to then get money into their businesses, is to get their profile up there, and they are going to be able to use their experience of trading here, of entering with travel trade, to supplement their application to the Green Tourism Incentives Program. So this is not theory. Okay. Green Incentive Program are about helping SMMEs, are about helping the tourism businesses to retrofit their establishment so that they are able not just to deal with electricity, energy crisis, they are able to deal with the looming water crisis, but also practice responsible tourism. So it's not theory, it's what the processes are. Already, hundreds of SMMEs have benefited from this, but like we are saying, the challenges are enormous. We can only start with the resources that we have, but it's not theory, it's practice in action. And platforms like Africa Travel Indaba enables us to reconnect, share best practices, engage with our counterparts on how they have dealt with some of their energy crime and other issues, and use those learnings to improve our destination, make it visitable, make it safe, and a prosperous destination for visitation, trade, and investments.
The challenge, though, briefly, Baba, is that these aren't issues that you can fix. You can't fix electricity as a tourism entity. You can't fix the potholes. So you rely on other people to do their work. And if they don't, then everything comes apart.
We can contribute in making sure that we increase the revenue from tourism. Just in Gauteng alone, at the end of the financial year in March, 16.3 billion rand was invested into the tourism economy in Gauteng, out of the hosting of mega events, out of making sure that our township product this goes into the GDP, this goes into assisting the finance ministry, this goes in distributing this money into areas of need, hospitals, potholes, energy. So tourism and many other sectors working in concert can go a long way in helping the country to deal with the current challenges. It's not a standalone. So when we are here at Africa's Travel Indaba, when we market Gauteng, we market South Africa, we are marketing to increase revenue that will help the country deal with the energy crisis, fix pothole, make the country visitable, and improve the country's overall happiness index.
Barba Gaoganediwe, thank you so much for speaking to us.